considerations for building tall in the 21st century?
Now, I think it's a bit a common known fact that more and more people move into the cities. The cities have grown tremendously in the last 50 years. And now, over 50% of people live in the cities, and that creates a big pressure onto the cities. So cities have to find new models to accommodate more people, and it's been tried. You know, we've been trying to build in the periphery. We've been trying to build suburbs, but the suburbs have big problems. Commuting is a problem. Provisions for suburbs is a problem. So we have to find new ways to densify our city core, and it seems to be natural to try to do this in a vertical fashion.
I'm going to interject this question in our three here, but being one of those people who needs internet access and can work from anywhere, I was really kind of hoping that I could live out in the exurbs and telecommute, and I don't guess that has the internet had the global village in that way had any effect at all on urban migration?
I think there was an attempt made to commute more, to communicate more through the internet and to do business through the internet. But ultimately, I think human interaction is still quite critical. And certainly for the way we operate in our office, we're architects. We need to sit together to generate schemes, generate ideas, develop the ideas. It's not really possible to segregate people out so easily. And we also interact with all the other disciplines. And again, the best way to do it ultimately is through meetings, but through meeting in person. But having said that, I have to say that a number of our clients now, they have video conferencing facilities, and that is a step in the right direction. But how do you draw, for example, over a video conference? That just there are limits to how far you can take it. But I still believe, and even if you do rely on internet more, and you live in your home somewhere outside the city, you will still need to send your kids to school. You will still need to go shopping. You will still want to get a certain level of entertainment. And that will still draw you into the city ultimately, I think.
Does it make economic sense to continue to make buildings taller?
So I think, yes, there is a case for towers. Yes, there is a case for going tall, but not for the sake of, the question kind of implies going tall for the sake of being tall, and I would say that would not be the right way to go. One example where I think that's been done, the Burj, the Khalifa, I don't think is a particularly sustainable building. You have the desert, you have potentially as much land as you possibly can hope for, and then you build this super high-rise tower there. I think it's not very efficient. It's probably fairly expensive to build a tall structure like that. I don't know how well people interact in this building. So that would be not the desired model, in my view.
What does a building developer look for primarily when they go looking for an architect or a consultant?
High-rise towers, the market is Asia for us, particularly China, and most developers want. I think the slogan is almost like a timeless, elegant, iconic building. So they definitely want an icon. They wanna have a building which looks unique and looks interesting. But developers are also commercially driven. They want functional floor plans. They don't want overly complex structures. I think they want efficient vertical circulation. I think most of our clients, they want a twist. They want some kind of a nice architectural kind of an idea which distinguishes the building from other buildings, but nevertheless, they want a fairly functional building.
What is the prototype for public transportation, and maybe public transportation is the wrong word, but just individuals who need to get around in these new cities, because you expect auto ownership to go down just for no other reason than the sheer density of cities. What does that look like, the new transportation model?
New transportation model. Okay, this will vary from city to city. Hong Kong has this huge advantage that all the density is along the coastline, and therefore it is very linear, and therefore you can very easily put very few metro lines underground under these very dense developments, and you serve huge amount of public patronage. In fact, Hong Kong is probably one of the very few cities in the world which has a positive cash flow on ticket sales.
Wow.
But anyway, so Hong Kong has this very linear organization, and that is ideal for metro systems. Singapore is a bit different. Singapore has more satellite kind of cities, and it has metro network which takes you to these satellite cities. But then you still have this issue about how you get around in these satellite cities. And they have opted to integrate like elevated sort of people mover systems, which I think is a pretty interesting model. So the people mover system connects to the metro, and it takes you around these hubs, around these kind of suburbs. But those suburbs are not suburbs in an American sense. They are actually townships. They are tall buildings. They are high-rise residential buildings with retail and all. They are just like small cities, small urban cities, so to speak. So there's a kind of a network in Hong Kong. Just coming back to that once more, they have this other little great system which is minibuses. It's called minibuses. So when you get out of the metro, because ultimately you might, some areas are still further away than 5 minutes walk, right? But not many. But if they are further away than 5 minutes walk, you have to change from the metro to some other modes of transport. And in Hong Kong, they've got minibuses. So you get into these minibuses, and they are like a larger form of taxi in a way. And they have routes. They are described routes, but they take you basically to the places where you need to go.
Is that the threshold, do you think, 5 minutes of walking to get between nodes? Is that pretty standard?
That's what we normally design to.
Yeah, is that kind of a worldwide standard, or does it vary?
Oh, it varies a little bit. Some people say 400, some people say 500, but that's 5 minutes walk, essentially. It's a 5 minutes walk. And the reason why it varies, I think, is in a city like Hong Kong, when you walk 5 minutes, it's very humid and hot, or Singapore, 5 minutes, you're probably still going to be sweating. Whilst in, say, Chicago, the climate is quite different, and 5 minute walk is not a big deal.
Oh, you'll sweat in Chicago.
Depends on the time of the year.
Yeah. Stefan Krummeck?
That's right.
With TPF Farrells. That's all I have, unless you have another point you'd like to bring up.